Hi, what does it mean for you? No, this way. How community and what community means for you?
Community is essential. As we discussed before, it's impossible to build a business without a community, both to help support you and build your business and connect with. The irony in a sort of technological era is people think the human factor isn't as important. In fact, the
Let,
human
let's
centric.
sorry to jump in. Let's tell people what do you actually do.
Okay. Very nice to meet you all. Thanks for having me. So I'm a director at AI and Partners, which is a professional services firm for companies subject to the EU AI Act.
That's
Which,
why I asked
as
the question because you said about that in the technology and in the AI world, the community is the base. That's why I jumped into it to ask that nobody actually they need to know who are actually you. Sorry to jumping into that. Continue what the community is more for you.
I presume this will probably be started with a bit of an intro, or maybe you'll be doing some sort of verbiage
Actually,
or
actually
communication, so
not.
people have context before this.
Actually not. The first
Um,
literally second is gonna be my question. That's why we're trying to do the things differently. That the people will capture things. All these way of talk shows as we done before. It's 5 minutes intro, and I'm already switching off everything. So
okay,
I lied that guys. By the way, the intro and everything about is down in the description. So have a look more about, and then all the contacts and all the links are also below. So have a look. That's why I just like to have a 20 minutes of the talks between two people about the subject, and just go and go and go and have a more episode rather than 3 hours of the talks.
okay, I'll just follow your lead then. So back to community. Yeah, community is essential. We need that human touch, and we're very lucky to have had a very strong community, both on LinkedIn, personally and professionally, to help build. And what it means to us, it means everything. It means value exchange, knowledge exchange, social support, bringing awareness of opportunities. Without a community, it is very difficult, if not impossible, to build a business. But we're obviously still learning in that sense, and communities always need to be nurtured in the same that you would do for a plant.
I do like that. Let me ask you, where you're originally from?
London,
You're
United
you're a
Kingdom.
Londoner,
Yeah.
and how is it for you to build community through the networking through LinkedIn in London at now, and how was it before? What is your favorite way to connect with people?
In person is always the best. So obviously you have platforms to facilitate conversations, especially with people in their different areas. But face to face, just going putting yourself out there, it makes a difference. In my opinion, because people can see you, they can interact with you. And especially in a world where there's deep fakes, there's misinformation, disinformation, having that person in front of you when you can evaluate and speak to them is critical.
I do totally agree. I love the old way fashioned networkings and old way fashioned things. That's why these episodes are mostly just to give people as spoilers for the real life events, and that's also it's happening. What is mostly how did you get into the business AI? And I saw that you're sorry, I need to find a sentence in my head. I saw on the LinkedIn that there's so many conferences, everything else. You are involved. Tell me more about that.
Do you mind rephrasing your question? I don't really understand.
On
Sorry.
LinkedIn, I always see that you are sharing a lot of conferences about around the AI, about the technologies, and you are inviting a lot of people there. Also, I registered for one of the conferences in London around the AI with your company.
Yeah, I think it's important to be. I think it's important to have everyone focusing on different areas of the business. And part of the stuff I do is involved in marketing, in operations and regulation. So it's just part of the job really. And if it needs to get done, you just do it. So there's not really more to say than that. In respect to conferences, again, like I said, it just goes back to face to face. So you just go up and chat to people, meet people, make genuine connections, and just see if there's an opportunity for a genuine connection. Again, all I would strongly encourage your listeners and your followers to say is just don't be afraid to just put yourself out there and go up to speak to people. And hopefully that's the takeaway.
Do you have any like suggestions how AI could help with the connection with people?
Possibly, and again, you'd also be mindful of regulations and the ethical, regulatory, and legal concerns, but possibly helping you make recommendations to who to deal with, helping you build a profile so you know how to approach someone. Obviously, once you've known them, and you can you can help engage with them better and build more deep, meaningful conversations. I think it is important to be mindful of activities that are not necessarily compliant, so scraping of people's data to then target them. I think, for example, cyber attacks are very common, and if people are doing stuff like phishing, fraud, scams, you have to be very careful. For example, people have been trying to sort of get in contact with me, professing to be a certain other person. On the basic interrogation, I ascertained that it was potentially not a genuine person. So you just have to be really, really careful. Obviously, use it for your benefits. Just be very careful when you're interacting with this, because you could make yourself vulnerable without knowing it.
That's very interesting. It's jumping one question in my head. I personally using AI for creating my LinkedIn posts, because I'm a dyslexic, and for me writing is literally a nightmare. So I put everything in AI and I just let it write it down for me. What is your opinion about that?
Again, be careful what you put in and always check it. And since check it in, just make sure that what you're putting, because once it's out there in that sense. What else can I say? Yeah, and I would always encourage people to, try and improve those skills. If it's just a daily, writing a few words on a sentence, that's fine. But again, it's each to their own and whatever works. There's lots of things that I struggle with, to be honest, and I try every day to make myself better at them. And it's a learning process.
How is the best to connect with you, and why people should connect with you?
Available through LinkedIn, through the company channels. So we've got an email, contact@aiandpartners.com, or my personal one on the website. So it's m.borrelli AI and Partners. Why to connect with us? So you can make sure that your AI applications are compliant, and that you can safely and deploy safe and secure and trustworthy AI systems when the EU AI Act enters into force in spring this year.
How does the EU compliance to United Kingdom?
It applies to any business, irrespective of their location, to the extent they have a nexus or a presence in the EU. So if you're a UK business, but you have clients in, say, France or Germany, you'd be within scope.
That's very interesting. Tell me more about your company.
So it's a regulatory compliance consultancy with RegTech software. And so we have software that identifies and risk classifies AI systems under a 3-step approach with a consultancy arm. So we're a dedicated professional services firm in that sense, to helping companies comply with the EU AI Act.
You told me before that you have also a co-founder.
So he's a founder, and he brought me onto his team. So the founder and CEO is Sean Mush, and he brought me into his team.
How long do you work with together, and what is your history in this way? How have you met? And tell me more about this thing, because that's exactly about the community. How do you get there? You told me when we had the first call more about yourself, but I don't want to spoil that for the next episode, which one is going to be completely about you. Right now, I would like to hear more. How have you met? Why have you get there? And what does it mean for you at the moment?
Well, I think, to be fair, our first chat, your questions are very much directed on that. So it wasn't, I think, I was answering your questions in that sense. With respect to Sean, we met in 2021, and he had already been working on this idea prior to that, as his experience with GDPR implementation. Where we connected, similar views, similar principles, similar goals, similar ambitions, and he was looking for someone to help him build a business. So That's how it goes. And you probably know this better than most. If you meet someone and you have a genuine connection, then yeah, you just work with it and you build something together. If not, you go your separate ways. But it's down to each individual person to make that determination to see, is this a person I can work with? Do they have shared goals? And working on stuff together. So it's not much more than that in that sense.
It's completely true. You told me before that you are from financial sector, and you, if I can share that you didn't like much of the community there, and you rather went to you like to have a more business. What does it mean for you to work for someone else in a community, and what does it mean for you to work for yourself?
I wouldn't say that. I would say that I didn't like that.
Sorry.
I wouldn't paraphrase that. No, it's fine. I wouldn't want it to be misrepresented, of course. I just said there were certain aspects of the corporate 9 to 5 which didn't really resonate with me, and I'm a builder in that sense, and I just wanted to always do my own thing. So I guess always diametrically opposed to the way of that, and just wanted to obviously work with them, but under the auspices of having built something myself, and like to be very self-sufficient, and entrepreneurial life has always, I guess, been within me, and certain events that happen in the world allow me to sort of realize that dream, and very lucky and fortunate enough to be here.
Did you always wanted to be the person who will build the companies, or how have you got there that like the building the companies is your thing?
Just realized over time I just like building stuff, and I like creating stuff.
You notice like when was exactly this moment that I don't want to work for someone else?
I would say it's just more over time. You just every day you should be questioning yourself, what you're doing, what your goal is, and just if the same topics are coming up over time, your subconscious is likely trying to tell you something. And and why not? And this, we being self-sufficient, entrepreneurial. It's difficult, it's hard. Every day is a challenge. But then if you're willing to pursue it, it can be fairly beneficial, and open up so many opportunities to give value back. So I'd say, if again, please, everyone each their own. Please do, obviously, if you're going to do anything, take the necessary time to take into account all your considerations and all that sort of thing. But for me, it's just always been an inner drive, and I can't really. For me, that's it really.
The question is also that a lot of people who are around me are always traveling, or they are staying on one place. So I know a few Londoners, they always live in London, loved London, but there are also people who came here as me, who had to start again and build a community from the beginning. How is it from you? Have you ever lived abroad, or did you love London so much that you wanted to always stay here and you knew London is for you?
I think I was consider myself to be a global citizen, so fortunate enough to have been born and grown up and studied in London, but traveled a bit, but things are always changing as to where it's difficult. I think nowadays you have to plan, let's say, a week or two max in advance, so it's important to position yourself where you can be comfortable, both from a business sense, both physiologically, both psychologically, and it's multifaceted in that sense. So but London is great. The community is a very vibrant tech community. There's a lot of hardworking, amazing, kind and smart people here. So why would you not want to be in this environment? But there are plenty of other environments where people like that exist.
Oh, I'm in love with London. And literally 2 days ago, I landed on a Gatwick from Madrid, and I just literally landed down, and I just felt how people are walking, going, and the rush of the London. I was like, oh God, thanks God to be back home. So this is coming to my next question. How do you separate your personal life, like your inner circle in the community, and your inner circle at work?
I'd say it would challenge. I would say that it's when you're when you're running your own, business with someone, it is different. You have to be very disciplined. You have to set certain boundaries. And again, my methods are definitely not perfect, and I think everyone should work their own methods out. But I think it's important to set yourself boundaries and know what you can and can't do, and know when enough is enough. Know when to stop. Know what triggers I know when to take a break. I don't think it's
You
more than
actually saying just go for it, make mistakes, learn from them, and go again and never give up.
I would say that's one interpretation from that. Yeah.
I do like that because I met a lot of people now and inspiring a lot of people. Also on the, I would like to, yeah, I'll send you also an invitation on the 9th of April. We're gonna have a panel discussion exactly about community to bring people together, because that's where we want to build and try people to get them together a little bit different way. As people are always trying to do online things and never meeting in person, and mostly just getting just there and just meet is nice. What is that's coming there? What is your ideal business inner circle?
Difficult to say. I think you just work with people who that you trust, you respect, and you can rely on, and that you want to grow with together. It's important to be around people, yeah, who again share the same vision and values, and that you can achieve stuff together. And that's it.
Who are coming to the events and this kind of networking events and also the membership clubs, which one they just want to take and they don't want to give. How would you let's person? So part of my business is the inner circles, where the business people are meeting together and trying to help each other. For me, it's mostly that I would like to have a people who are also mostly gives. Last time I was telling that they kind of, for me, the building the inner circle is like the building the heat from the fire. You have to start from the scratch, get the woods, put it on small pieces, little paper, scratch with this, lift it up, and slowly building up, and then you can take the heat. But many people are taking advantage of that. What is your advice for the people to make sure that the people more gives, or you're not take advantage of it?
Focus on what you can do. Don't focus on what others can do. You can only change yourself, and always try and give value where you can. And if it's the case, and obviously it's for everyone to make their own judgment on that. If they are taking value, have a conversation with them, make your own mind on it. But always focus on yourself and don't focus on what others are doing. You know, if you're always benefiting yourself, then whatever anyone else does is something out of your control. So control the controllables.
I do like that. Listen, we're coming almost at the end of the 20 minutes. It's going very fast. Tell me something what you'd like to add as an intro from yourself. Tell me something more about you and how would like to introduce yourself.
Financial services practitioner, focusing on AI regulation, entrepreneurial, creative, open-minded, looking to build and help people build communities with respect to the EU AI Act. Follow the 3-step process, identify, risk classify your systems to make sure that they're safe, secure, and trustworthy.
That was incredible. I'm not able to introduce myself normally under 2 minutes. I'm still learning that. Hopefully you will join us for the next episode, for which one will be mostly about you and how we got through the struggles and positive and incredible success of your life, to share to people, motivate them. And please, people, if you want to follow, connect, or see all the details, have a look below. And I would like to thank you for the episode, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for hosting us.